I'm Wade von Grawbadger, and you're watching my process video of the Kingpin, a study in white-colored pencil on black mixed media paper. I'm still working on how to do this, so please bear with me as I experience my growing pains. I'm going to be all over the place, but I will try to keep my use of the word anyway to a minimum. Just try to keep up. To start off, I did a sketch on white paper, which I turned over and then covered in white pencil on the back. I then traced the sketch onto black paper using the white pencil on the back of the first page as my transfer medium. There's probably a better way to do it, but so far that's my process. To be honest, I haven't checked to see if white transfer paper exists. I'll have to look into it, because if it does exist, it's probably cheaper than chewing through white prismas for something no one will really see except in these reels. I put entirely too much detail in the underdrawing, intending to do all these textures, and completely overthought it. And then I immediately ignored it, as the paper was giving me all the texture I really needed to suggest. More than I could have hoped for, really.
But soft, what light through yonder blinds break? It is the east, and Vanessa,
not pictured,
is the sun.
What was really important was blocking out the major shadows and shapes. Everything else I could translate directly from the reference. The key to working with colored pencils, as you may or may not know, is layering. You have to be careful, though, depending on what brand you're using, as some contain more wax than others, and can lead to buildup that starts to work against you. For my purposes so far, Prisma pencils work fine. I bought some Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils, which are specifically for black paper, but at least in this case, I thought the Prismas gave me a more vibrant white. More testing is needed. Not pictured here, I'm also using Tombow Mono Zero fine erasers for correcting mistakes or even to assist in some shading. As the chin starts to form here, all I can think about is poor Chief Gallo, if you saw the Daredevil Born Again season finale. Ugh. Anyway, after my sketch was laid out, it was time to jump in and start making a face. I've been starting with the eyes on these things for no real reason other than it interests me the most. I mean, the eyes in a piece are like the character of the drawing, so if the eyes work, half your battle is already won. Then I'm just jumping around as things catch my interest, mostly connecting things to the central starting point. You can see here that I've done a lot of work on the upper cheek, and that thing is a cliff Tom Cruise could face jump off of in the next Mission Impossible when he needs to take a break from all that running. Needless to say, my reference doesn't have a 90-degree angled cheekbone, so thankfully I go back from time to time and soften it up. So the reference is a screenshot of Vincent D'Onofrio from an episode of the Netflix series, where he was heavier, and to be honest, I just don't see too much likeness in my finished product unless I hold it up to a mirror. For some reason, he suddenly appears there. My better half, not pictured here, thinks that it looks like him, so that's something. Let me know what you think. I can take it. I'm a big fan of what he does with the character in both Daredevil series, and will forget his appearance in Echo ever happened. The writers of that series must not have cared for him as a character because it was completely incongruent with the rest of the TV appearances that he's made. Oddly, in my 30 years plus of working in comics, I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to work on a book he was in. There's still time to change that, Marvel. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Anyway, what do you think of Mr. D's portrayal of the great white mob boss? Let me know in the comments. This, as well as some other pieces I've done recently, which you may have seen on Instagram or my other social media pages, has been a pleasant departure for me. In fact, I did a Dr. Doom headshot last year that was probably the first time I had drawn in colored pencils in over 2 decades, with my entire career being in pen and ink, thinking of how to use solid blacks and lines to form shapes. Working in the opposite format is really stretching muscles that had atrophied, and not in a matrix way where the word is used incorrectly, since you can't waste away something that never existed, like muscles you never developed due to sleeping your entire life in a liquid-filled pot. Anyway, I recently sold a Daredevil piece on Essential Sequential and currently have a Storm piece on this site with a video that is more akin to time-lapse than a procedural. But stop judging me! I don't have videos for them, but there's a Captain America and Red Hulk from Brave New World available as well. I've got some plans to do more that coincide with some new movies and shows that are going to be released soon if time for my actual work allows, and speaking of my day job, I hope to be posting some inking reels as well, but one of these projects actually has to come out for me to be able to do that. So, got anything you'd like to see me tackle? Let me know below. Have a great one.